Jennifer, you have written a beautiful book. A beautiful book. Tell us how it came about.
I believe it started way back when I was a little girl. And my daddy, a physician, used to take me on rounds, hospital rounds with him. And we would go into the patient rooms. And I would see my daddy, he had such a compassionate touch, and he would reach out and touch the patients and their faces would light up. And so I really believe it started way back then. And then fast forward many years, when we moved to Houston in '97, there was an opportunity for me to volunteer at the Methodist Hospital. So I took this volunteer position as a lay minister, and I was assigned to two units. One of them was a medical unit that housed cystic fibrosis patients, and the other unit was the transplant unit.
So would you say a little prayer each day before you went in?
I would, I did. I said a prayer that basically it was from Scripture, and it just said, you know, Jesus, please help me empty myself of all my needs and my to-do list and my concerns so that I can be there for the patient. And I received training when I was there about listening. And you know, you think listening is passive, but it's actually very powerful form of communication. But what I would do is, when I walked into that room, I created a compassionate, safe space. And I, most of the times, would sit and listen, sometimes just hold their hand, but I would listen to them tell me whatever they wanted to talk about.
And just to have, just lovingly, just be there for them is all God was asking of you, basically, right? Just show up.
Yes, yes. And it was such a powerful experience because they stopped being patients and they became people with lives and children and stories, and stories, the most amazing stories. And if I could share that in the form of a book, through the pages of a book, with countless others, to share this compassionate space, to create a space.
Same thing, but just on a bigger level.
Exactly. And so what I am finding as people are reading the book and sharing, they begin to share their stories with me. And it's that same thing you mentioned, this amazing hunger for true life experiences, to hearing about true experience of God interacting in our world and in our lives. And it's marvelous.
You'd never written a book before?
No. You know, and I started it and put it away and started it. And finally one day I really got frustrated and I said, God, I just don't think I'm the right person for this. But one night I had a dream and I heard 3 words, use an angel. And I woke up and I thought, now I can do that.
God was so right. What a surprise, by saying use Margaret the angel, because she's the perfect vehicle to guide us through this garden.
And truly, you know, what I was trying to do with this book is I was trying to recreate the sacred space that I was creating in the hospital room, and I was trying to recreate the sacred space. And I figured out fairly recently that what Margaret did is she created a sacred space
for you to tell your story,
to tell my story,
and yes. She's so lovable, and I enjoyed voicing her very much because she's not a fairy godmother. She's very much a God's creation. She loves you. She's been with you.
I was so comfortable with her, and I trusted her, and that it just truly, when I got Margaret involved in the book, it almost wrote itself.
Yeah, you said.
And I'm still astonished.
And people, I foresee down the road, people are going, oh, you're like my Margaret. You know, she will become sort of, I hope, iconic in that sense. Somebody who will create a special, safe place for people to come and tell their stories.